Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be doing a lot of comparisons and analogies between surfing and trading. I've met a lot of people who want to be traders and a lot of traders in my life, and a lot of them are former poker players, and there's a commonality between people where there's a lot of surfers out there as well. My mentor back when I was trading penny stocks when I first started, he was a surfer, and certainly interacting with a lot of the Chart Guys members, they've reached out as surfers as well. I am personally a body surfer. I love being in the middle of the wave on my chest. I've been doing it ever since I was a little kid on a boogie board, and it is something that is one of my happiest moments is when I'm on a wave. And unfortunately it hasn't happened a whole lot recently. Pretty much the last time was a year ago. There was one good day in Florida where there were some waves, and the entire time I was out there, because it was after trading for the morning, I went to the beach and I couldn't shake the analogies that were just firing off in my brain the entire time while I was out there trying to catch some waves. So some of the comparisons that we're going to draw is obviously learning how to surf. The more repetition you do, the more often you go out to surf, the quicker you're going to pick it up. So if you're going to go out and practice 3 times a week versus practicing every other week, you're going to learn a lot faster. So that's with trading. A lot of people say, well, how long should it take before I understand this concept? And it's really how much time are you putting in? If you're putting in every single day worth of effort, that's one answer. And if you're looking at it a couple times a week, that's another answer. So definitely have to have consistency, comfortability, and experience. You build up that experience, you build up that comfort, and you get to a flow state. So with surfing, when you're comfortable, you don't have to think about positioning yourself with the wave. You can feel the pull of the wave. You know where you need to be, a little bit further back, a little bit further forward, and then you just go with it. And that's almost a subconscious muscle memory aspect that you build up over time. Whereas when you're first starting, you're going to learn the hard way, whether you miss the wave or get the wave too early and it crashes on you, but you're going to learn the hard way where you need to be positioned. And it's the same way with trading. So another comparison is the reward. Obviously with trading, the reward is money, but you get a rush of dopamine and a good feeling when you have a successful trade. With surfing, that's the same. You're on top of the wave, you have that rush of dopamine, that's your reward, enjoyment and pleasure. So another comparison, if I'm going to be looking at trader with capital, a surfer, their energy is their capital. So what I mean by that is, if I'm going to be out there trying to catch every single wave and riding it into the shore and then having to get back out over the breakers to be able to sit comfortably and patiently wait, I'm going to be using a lot of energy, just a lot of wasted waves. If I'm not catching good ones, well, that wasn't worthwhile, but now I got to swim all the way back out again, get back over those waves so I can patiently wait for the good wave. Waves come in sets. So there's going to be a whole bunch of waves you want to skip and not take. Just like trades, there's a ton of trades out there you don't want to take. You wait for the right trade, the right wave. You want to risk your capital or your energy, and you go for it. Stop losses, you could view stop losses as either pulling back on a wave. There'll be times where I'm right on a wave and I can either paddle as hard as I can to try and get to the right positioning, or I can just bail and back off that wave, save my energy, save my capital, and wait for the next one. Another analogy for stop loss would be the tie that you have to your surfboard, where if you fall down, you don't have to go all the way to the shore and waste your capital, waste your energy to get that board, come all the way back. It's going to stay right next to you and save your energy. Your stop loss is going to save your capital. So I talked about waves coming in sets, and you want to wait for the right wave to try and expend your energy and put your capital at risk. There's also days that you want to skip completely altogether. This past Friday, we knew it was very likely Tesla was going to give us a daily inside bar. I want to be very active trading when ranges are breaking and volatility is high. When ranges are constricting, I want to trade less. If I'm looking at the weather forecast and I'm seeing choppy waves and not an ideal day, I'm not going to go out there and hit the waves for 4 hours. When we have an ideal day, I'm going to go out there and hit the waves for 4 hours. So I'm going to skip the choppy day. I'm going to surf less or not surf at all. And I'm going to save my energy and my capital for when there are ideal conditions, knowing it's going to be a good day to surf today, it's going to be a good day to trade today, and then striking on that opportunity. So I always talk about pumping the brakes when it's not ideal conditions. So you pump the brakes when it's a choppy, cold, windy day, and you put your pedal to the metal when it is ideal conditions and the waves are looking good. So along with experience, you lose fear. When you first start surfing, you might stand up on that board for the first time and say, oh man, this is a lot higher up than I thought it was. I'm 6 feet above the water, and now I'm on top of a wave. I'm 8 feet above the water. And when I fall, it might hurt. Then you fall 100 times and it doesn't hurt anymore, and you know not to fear that. The experience is giving you confidence to alleviate your fear. Same thing with trading. When you do it enough times, it becomes routine. You get in your flow state. You don't think about catching the wave. You don't think about getting in the trade in depth. Obviously, you plan your trade, but it becomes very smooth and easy. Experience is the #1 factor. Someone who's been surfing for 1 year is not going to look anything like someone who's been surfing for 8 years. There's not even going to be a comparison. So it's the same thing with trading. Someone trading for 1 year trying to do what someone who's been trading for 8 years has been doing and measuring themselves up to that person and saying, why can't I do it this easy? Well, because you haven't put in 8 years. That 8 years is required to get to that point, to lose the fear, to get the comfort, to get in your flow state, to have that muscle memory, and time is a huge factor. Likewise, comfort and routine. If I'm at my home base trading and I have my routine, I know when I wake up, I know what I do to prepare for the day. That is when I'm in my comfort zone. And if I'm thrown out of that, I'm a little bit off. Likewise, if I have a surfing spot and I go there every time, I know where on the beach the waves are going to break the best. I know where the rocks on the beach are to avoid them. And if I go to a new beach, I have to figure that all out again. I have to figure out where are the rocks, where are the waves breaking? Are there any rip tides I need to be concerned about? And those are ways that we can be out of our element and need to be in a comfort zone and establish that routine, knowing that we can just save time and go out, catch the waves. I've been here before 100 times. I know exactly where I want to be. Take those waves for a few hours, go in, call it a day. Whereas if you're in a new place, it takes a lot of feeling around and a lot of trial and error before you find your spot, find your comfort zone. And again, you're going to be expending more energy doing that. When you're away, I call it, again, home team and away team. If you're away and not in your comfort zone, you're going to have to expend your capital or expend your energy to get comfortable. So when you are already comfortable, you can skip a whole lot of steps, which is why routines and habits are so important as a trader.